So often I see people bashing coaches, bashing programs, bashing all of these things because it didn't work for me, or coaches don't work for me, or nobody has ever helped me do XYZ. And I have a certain feeling about this because I've hired over 8 coaches. Matter of fact, my very first coach, literally, I was her first one on one client. She had worked with no one else, and I was with her the longest. And she really 5X'd my business, right? Let me explain though. I say she 5X'd my business, but did she? No, I did. Did she guide me? Yes, she did. Did she give me the tools and tell me what to do? Sometimes. But who did the work? I did. Who showed up and was consistent every single day? I was. When I've hired a coach and I haven't done what they said, or haven't done what they recommended, or I haven't been consistent in what they recommended, I do not see results. Am I mad at that coach? Absolutely not. No, I own it. I learn from it. I realize my mistake. I realize what I did, and I make the changes as necessary to move forward. I own what I do and I own what I don't do. And a lot of times, this is what I see happen. People either don't do it, or they only do the first module, or they only do one call, and everybody wants a magic pill. Everybody wants a business overnight, or 2-day shipping like Amazon Prime. And this is not the way it works. It is years and years and years sometimes of investing in yourself and putting yourself out there. But the thing people don't realize is there's so much mindset work in all of this. I can have the best product, but I'm not showing up as my best self because I've got too many things going on in my brain telling me how bad I suck. No one is going to buy because I got to work on myself. Business is the hugest personal development journey you will ever go on. Your growth in business has more to do with here than it does your bank account. So many people don't want to admit that, and they don't want to deal with that, and they think they don't need mindset work. Honey, it is way more than mindset work. It is inner work. It is emotional intelligence. It is so many other things. And listening to 10 minutes a day of a personal development book, yes, it's better than nothing, but it is not all that you do. The unsexy stuff of that you don't show online, that's the stuff that really grows your business. Working on yourself, improving yourself, becoming a better human every single day, that's the crap nobody watches. That's the crap nobody's clapping for you for. When I join a program, so I'm not getting coaching, I'm not getting that mentoring, I'm literally just joining a program that I have to do, right? I get to do because I chose to buy it. Here's what I do, and this is a great idea for anyone. I watch the trainings if I can. If they're live, I do try to watch them live because I feel like that interaction is just so much different. And then I re-listen. So I listen once where I'm taking notes, and I listen again where I'm totally invested and I'm not trying to type or write at the same time. There's just something about that we learn differently when we're totally paying attention. We feel differently when we're totally paying attention versus when I'm literally grabbing a notebook and sitting here trying to make notes at the same time. It's just a different energy. It's just a different learning style, right? So I literally do both. I have always struggled learning, even in school. I hated school. And so this works for me. So I watch it once and take notes, and then I listen to it in the car, like again, and then it really starts to sink in. Then what happens is I implement. Or if they have homework, I do the homework, but I implement, because that is where the magic happens, right? I can listen to trainings all day. I can learn all day long, but if I don't actually implement, then nothing happens. A lot of programs I'm a part of, it's a lot of journaling and a lot of being real with yourself and transparent with yourself. And again, if I just listen and don't do it, I'm not going to get anything out of that. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to grow, because actually I have to sit down, be still, be real with myself, and journal. One of the biggest things that I hear, especially when it comes to social media, is nothing works. Nothing's working for me, Chrissy. It's not working for me. I don't know how to make this work for me. This is so frustrating. Like, it's not fair. I do all the things. I'm consistent, but when deep down inside, they're not. Deep down inside, something is inconsistent. Now, maybe they're consistent on social media. Maybe their messaging is inconsistent. Maybe the way that they show up is inconsistent. Maybe they're not getting on video or not being visible enough if they don't want to do video. But there's always a disconnect and there's always some kind of inconsistency. And maybe it's nothing outwardly that's inconsistent, but it's the way you feel when you show up. It's the way you feel and the energy behind the content that you're putting out. And people just feel something's off. They don't know what's going on, but they feel like something's off. We can't bash coaches if we're not willing to take responsibility for everything, implementing, watching, learning, putting it into practice, right? Doing the work, doing the inner work. And if it's anything on social media and you're not trying it for at least 90 days, you're not going to see results. 90 days, what I do in this 90 days, I see in the following 90 days. If I'm always planting seeds, I'm always going to be reaping some kind of harvest, right? But if I'm only planting seeds once a month, it's not going to do me any good. Or I'm not going to see the results that I want. So my question is this: where do you get to own when it comes to a mentor or a program? What do you get to own up to? What do you get to take responsibility for? I learn something from everyone. Even if it's like, I wouldn't do that, or that's not how I would run a program. I learn something. I have never asked for a refund. I've never asked for my money back. I have never not made my commitment and been my word, even if I really didn't want the program anymore. If there was a minimum, I stuck to it. What do you get to take responsibility for? What do you get to own? And what do you get to implement more of? I will never not do the work, because the work is the hard part. The work is the part we don't get instant gratification for. But the work works, right? When I show up and do the work, it works. When I show up and do the things, it works. Learning on its own doesn't work. Learning and implementing and executing that bad boy of whatever it is that you learn to do, that is where the magic happens. The question is, are you going to take responsibility, or are you going to keep just listening to trainings and hoping that magically one day things are going to change for you? This is some tough love from Chrissy. Hopefully this helps somebody and serves somebody. And I'm literally talking to my past self because I used to be this person. And I am trying to help you moving forward from being that person, because that person was miserable. That person was not happy. That person wasn't owning up to anything. And I'm so glad that I stepped in to this new role and I'm able to own it all. And I'm able to take responsibility, and I'm able to be consistent, and I'm able to implement, because that is what has changed my business.